All right. So I know that people will be arriving soon. Let's just, oh, good. Here's Jonas. We'll do some catch up on where we're at in building our project and developing our JavaScript skills. Hey, Jonas.
Hey, Eric.
How are you, man?
I'm good. How about you?
Good.
Sorry, last time.
It's totally fine. Were you able to watch that session?
Yes.
Okay. Did you get your JavaScript project caught up? Like, were you able to clone the code out on GitHub and get your code to be what ours was?
Yes, I cloned it to my VS Code editor.
Good.
I was trying to solve the, how to delete the contents of the text file in a Node.js.
Yeah, you were working on that?
Yeah, I was working on it, but I couldn't find any solution for that.
Totally fine. That's what we're going to build tonight. Here's Alexandra. Yeah, that's what we're going to build tonight. We're going to make delete work. And I've been looking forward to this. Hi, Alexandra.
Hi.
I've been looking forward to building delete because it's a complicated
I was trying
thing.
With if it's right file and if it's truncate. I read many blog posts, but it wouldn't work. I have no idea.
Yeah, and we couldn't get truncate to work either. By the way, for anybody watching this live or in the future, this is 5 Live Free Code School. For the past several sessions, we've been building in JavaScript an application that can do create, read, update, and delete on products. Anybody have anything they need to bring up before we just dive into solving this delete issue? Okay, cool. All right, well, I'm going to share my screen and then reorient myself and everyone to where we are in this project. So that's not what I wanted to bring over. I want to bring VS Code over. Come on. There we go. So here's the situation we have, just to reorient, like I said, everyone, me included. We were able to change our application over the last 2 classes to store our product information in this db.txt file. And that's acting as our permanent data storage. We were able to build a little bit of JavaScript code that when we need the data in that text file to exist in our computer program as JavaScript objects, that this code will do that. It uses the file system library. It reads that db.txt file, splits apart every single line into an array, and then goes through that array and creates yet another array that is a collection of JavaScript objects. So we're able to solve all that. Using that, we were able to change how we can search for an individual product. And that happens right here under get product by ID in our app.js, and how we could search for all products. So we've got that working. What we're trying to build now is how do we delete a product? So again, to remind everybody watching and myself, let's follow the code through and see where it is that it's not working and we need to straighten it out. And then I'm going to want to get all of your thoughts on this as well. So if we'll run this from the command line with an Npm Start, let's get it up and running. Wow, okay, there we go. Pick from the following operations: A, list all products; I, find product by ID; and D, delete product ID. Just to make sure nothing's broken, let's do A, and it should list all products. And if we raise this terminal up, there's all the products right there. We have 5 products, so A works. Let's run the program again. And we'll do I for individual product, and it asks us for the ID. We'll do 4, and there's number 4, that rollerball pen. Okay, good. Now let's start. Well, let's do the code, the D for delete. Something's wrong with my code. The D isn't even working. So let's see if I changed anything. Case D. Oh, I didn't run the application. Npm Start. I just typed D on the command line. That didn't do anything, oddly enough. So let's do D for delete. And we're going to delete number 4, that pen. What we get back is undefined. We get some object that's undefined. And if we look inside db.text, it hasn't changed. So what we're doing now doesn't work. But let's follow the code and see if we can figure out why. So we go to app.js. When we input D, we call the remove product by ID function that we're importing from the delete.js. And we're passing in as a parameter when we call that function, whatever ID was typed in at the prompt on the command line. Any questions from anyone so far? Okay. So now let's look at that remove product by ID. By the way, I don't know if this shortcut will work, but often in Visual Studio Code, you can right click on a function and then you'll say go to definition and it'll take you there. And we click, hey, it worked. So it took us to delete.js and right to the function. Look at that. Makes it nice and friendly. All right, so let's follow the logic again. We set a Boolean. Have we identified the product that we want to delete yet? We start out with no. We make a temporary array and populate it with the content of products. Remember, we get products right here on line 4 by running read database on the text file. So now products is an actual JavaScript array, a collection of JavaScript objects. All right, fine. Then this is code that we've seen several times when we want to try to find a match. We're going to loop through and we wait until the ID that got passed in to the function matches look at line 11. What gets passed in as ID? What type of data is it? What's that?
It's a number.
It's a number, yeah. Well, what is products square bracket I? What type of object is that?
It's an object.
It's a JavaScript object representing a product. How is it ever going to be equal to a number? It isn't, because I'm an idiot. .id. It's the object dot value syntax. I screwed it up. So now let's run it. I made that change. Let's see if that does something. I don't think it's going to, but we'll check. Npm Start. Let's run it. I want to delete something. Let's delete number 4. Ooh, I got a syntax error. That itself is helpful. That's better than undefined. Errors are your friend when you're trying to fix things like this. Okay, good. So remove product by ID, line 14, column 16. Line 14, column 13, 14, 15. Okay, so when we call the truncate function, it's giving us an error that says callback must be a function. Now, can anybody explain a bit of what that is? What's going on there?
Callback it's a function which runs after it gets prompted. For instance, after the program reads the database,
right? Or after it reads from this file, right?
Yeah.
And truncates it, then it's supposed to do something else, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's a pretty good explanation. Ignore this project we're working on right now and the simplicity of what a callback function is in JavaScript is this. You ready? A callback is a function that you can pass into another function as a parameter. I'm going to type in here function, the word function. Now, there isn't a function. I'm just showing you how, let's put the comma there. If I had a named function, I can actually pass that function in to the truncate parameter. Now that's weird. It's not something we spend a lot of time exploring, and we'll do more exploration on it later on. But I just want to explain to you what a callback is. It's a type of function in JavaScript. And what it means is specifically a function that you are passing into a different function as one of that second function's parameters. What this means is that truncate needs a function. It needs, look at it, it's highlighted there above my cursor. It needs a callback. We need something there. It's supposed to do, we're supposed to pass in something else that happens. So this is where we were kind of at last week. What are some of the things that are supposed to happen? Well, it's totally up to us. The way truncate works is first, it's supposed to actually truncate the file, like remove all the contents from it, but not remove the file. And then it's supposed to do whatever you pass in. Now, we don't necessarily want it to do anything else. We just want it to finish truncating and then move on to line 16. So we've got to figure out, one, if there's a way we can tell truncate, hey, don't do anything else, just move on. And two, if that isn't the right approach, if truncate isn't working, how do you just get rid of truncate altogether and try something else? Now, did anybody find anything interesting out about this during the week? Has anybody got any ideas about this little dilemma we have?
I just switched to using write file and then append file.
Good. It's actually where I was going to go with this. Okay. So let's just do that. So you're saying we went to, from the file system library, dot write file, this one right here.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you hit one open parentheses, it'll tell you what we need to give it. So we need to give it a path, right?
Yeah.
So // data / db.text, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do we need to give it any other parameters?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are we putting the contents we want to write to it?
Yeah.
An empty string.
So how do we do it, like that?
Yeah.
Is it
Yes.
or is it double quotes?
I saw in single quotes.
Okay, good. Is that what you saw as well, Alexandra?
I use double quotes, but I don't think it makes a difference.
Yeah, in
this.
JavaScript, it typically doesn't. Okay, good. Excellent. Or any other, like, are there any options we need to add that you guys found? Because you don't, it's optional. You don't need to do it. Go ahead, Jonas, I keep talking over you. I'm sorry.
No, it's no problem. The third one is the callback function.
Does it need one?
The callback function, it doesn't need a parameter.
Does it need any file write, any write file options?
No, it doesn't.
Then let's put null there. So we're not passing anything. And now does it need a callback?
Yes.
Okay. Alexandra, is that what you found as well?
Yeah.
What did you put in as a callback?
I just did a empty function.
All right. Like that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see if this will work. What it should do is erase fully the contents. Am I right? It'll just write an empty string to the whole file, db text will be empty.
Yeah.
All right, now I saved this, oh, in db copy, I saved the file so we wouldn't lose it. All right, let's run this bad boy and see what happens. Delete, number 4. All right, so we expect it to return the full object because we haven't changed anything about what it returns. It returns all of the products. That's fine. Did it delete it? No. Did you guys get it to delete?
Yes.
You did as well, Alexandra?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look and see what I'm doing wrong. Take a look at your code and see if there's something about how I did this is different than what you did.
The only difference I see is in line number 13. I think there are 2 types of related functions, the slice and the splice functions. If we use the splice function, the contents of the original object are altered.
I agree, but on line 14, we aren't even using temp array in any way at all. All we're trying to do is, I've written it, is just take this db.txt file and take its contents and make them equal to an empty string.
For instance, in line number 13,
Yeah.
we are saying temp array that slice I1. But when we go to line number 16, temp array is still products. It's the same temp array we defined in line number 8.
Yes,
So
I agree.
Yeah.
But here's my question is, how is what you're talking about with these arrays, is that part of why we're not erasing the contents of the file?
Oh, it's not related with that.
Okay. Why are the contents of the file not erasing? Alexander, do you have any ideas?
Maybe the path to the file is wrong. I have only 1 dot in front of mine instead of the 2.
And you have a data, is the structure the same? You have a data folder.
Yeah.
Your delete is inside of operations, right?
Yeah.
All right, then let's remove 1. Run that bad boy. And by the way, you were totally right in everything you're talking about, Jonas. We'll solve that part next. So delete. We'll delete number 4. All right. Let's look. Holy moly, we did it. You know, it's kind of interesting that the way I was trying to search for it was using Visual Studio Code's built-in tool, and it gave me the wrong path. That was a really good catch. Good. So we made a huge piece of headway there. Now, have any of you tried to solve the next part, which is putting the correct data down inside that file?
Yeah.
You got it working?
Yeah.
You rock. I'm going to have you share your screen and let's see what you got going on. Okay.
All right.
Alex, sorry.
Oh yeah, please go ahead, Sudesh.
I can't even do npm start. I was just following what you put.
Oh sure, go ahead and share your screen. Yeah. Let's make sure you're in the right folder, for example.
Yeah.
It did work.
You got it to work, Sudesh?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Jonas?
Yeah, it did.
Awesome. Okay, so first, okay, you do not have, go down to the very bottom of the terminal. You don't have a prompt, so hit Control-C. There it is. Okay, now you say yes. Okay, so you did a debugging operation. All right, that's fine. Do npm start. Okay, so you're doing it in debug mode, which is fine. When you were trying to type npm start, the problem is you were still running the program. And the way you can tell is you didn't have the greater than symbol which is your prompt that tells you, hey, the command line program is at rest, sitting, waiting for me to provide input to it. If you don't see that caret, they call it, the greater than symbol, then you're not at the command line. So you won't be able to enter like npm anything. You're still stuck in you're still mid some computer program, and the command line has not returned to you as an input output mechanism. Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So
good.
I need to get out of debug.
Yeah, yeah. It
Right.
isn't even the debug. Yeah, that actually is the problem, because I think you probably have a breakpoint somewhere.
Yeah.
Go to the debug screen and hit stop at the top of the screen, the little red. Yeah. No, yeah, right there. Hit that. Not the green, the red. Disconnect. Yeah.
Disconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now at the bottom, do an npm start. Let me see if it behaves differently. You probably have to do a Control-C to get it to stop. Good. Give me an npm start. Why is it attaching the debugger? It's really odd. Go to the debug menu again. Let me just look at something here for a moment. Go to the debug console at the bottom. Disconnect from the debug session. That little red thing, yeah. Click that. Don't do anything yet.
I think he has to kill the terminal and restart again.
Say that again.
Just closing the terminal and restarting it again.
Yeah, it's funny. I was thinking that same thing as well. Just close Visual Studio and then start it up again.
No,
It's
the
caught in
terminal
some-
only.
Just the terminal.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that will do it. And then do terminal, new terminal. Try that. Give me an npm start now. Good call, Jonas. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead and stop sharing. Then Alexandra, let's see your delete. So before you run it, take us through the logic here from line 17 on.
So I'm looping through the temporary again to
Mhm.
see like what the new file is.
Good.
And then
why are we looping through the temporary array?
because we're going to be appending new data to it. Like we're taking the data from the temporary, and that's what's going to be getting
Right, because the
appended.
temporary is the one we removed the product from.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. For each item, convert to JSON string, then write that string to, okay, so line 20, tell us what that's doing.
That's taking the JSON object and then making it a string so that we can see it with the temporary.
Good. By the way, the terminology there would be taking the built-in JSON object, using the stringify function that's attached to that object, and passing into the stringify function the element of the temp array currently being processed.
Okay.
Yeah, you're perfectly right in your syntax. That's
Yeah.
excellent. All right, good. So we do all that and assign it to the value. We assign that value to the variable called obj. Okay, and then what do we do?
And then I was using the append file from the FS to,
The file system library.
yeah,
Good.
to add the object, and then also like the file path of where I'm adding the object.
Okay, good. So there's where to add, and then obj, and then you're adding, what's the +/n? What's that?
That's to add a new line after each entry.
Brilliant. Otherwise, it would all be one continuous line. And I just want to stress again that the way we're having to do this is really clunky, and we're having to work out each tiny little detail of how to make this work. There is a method to my madness. When you start dealing with some of the built-in, some of the freely available frameworks that make this process much easier, I want you to have an understanding of what they're having to deal with under the hood. So well done here. This is excellent. This is gonna work, isn't it?
I think so. It
Show me
works
your
for me.
show me your DB text right now. Okay, good. So it's as we started. Go ahead and run it and just delete number 2 for me. So D for delete 2. All right, now scroll up and let's see that number 2 is gone. Okay, good. Now, a couple things to discuss here. Does everyone see that number 2, product number 2 is gone?
Yes, it's gone.
Good. Now, let's explore how that data she has appeared on the screen. There's a lesson to be learned here. Some good educational thing. First of all, go ahead and collapse down the terminal and go back to your delete code. And can we all just take a moment and validate Alexandra? That's well done. You solved this. Good. Now, let's look at what she does on lines 23 and 24. The temp array on line 23, temp array, that's the one we removed one of the products from. And that's actually pretty cool. She takes that and she changes the products variable to now to be equal to whatever was in temp array. There is a danger involved in doing it this way. It's not something I would expect you guys to know already, but I'm wondering if anybody has an idea of why this might not be safe to do. It's totally okay if no one does.
Would it be because we're directly changing the actual database that we have?
That's the area that we're talking about. It's totally safe to change the database.
Okay.
Let's take a look at the time in between line 22 and line 23. Let's just slow down time and make it stretch out for a moment. When we finally get done with line 22, what we've done is we've just completed the process of literally going through every single element in temp array and writing it to the database. That's a good thing. Now, let's pretend that in between the exact instant when we finish that loop on line 22 and the instant on line 23, when we change the value of the products object, what if in that exact instant, some other computer program that was allowed to have access to the db.txt file changed it? What if they added in another product? What if they deleted a different product? Now, when we do line 24 and we return to the user, what we're telling them is the new collection of products, it's not true. Do you see the problem?
Yeah.
So what could we do to avoid that danger?
Would you make it so only like this program has access to it at like one at a time kind of situation?
This is beautiful. This is a good discussion. Yeah, that is one example of how you could do it. You could lock it down so that no other programs have access, and you can always trust your data because there's only one actor. There's only one computer process, one program that's allowed to touch the data. That's one approach. What if you want to have a program that allows multiple customer service representatives, for example, to have access to the database, to this product information? What if you have to allow other programs to have access? What can you do? What if we do this? Right before we're ready to return the list of products, why don't we check again what's down inside that file? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. All we would have to do is this. Do me a favor if you would. Can you copy for me your loop, lines 18 through 22, and send it in
Discord?
in Zoom chat? Zoom chat's fine. Actually, no, put it in Discord so everybody else can grab it too. That's fine.
All right.
Thank you. Now I'm going to go ahead and take over again for a moment and show you something. So there's mine. Now I should have pretty much what you have. Let's run it and make sure that it works for me too, okay? Nope, I did something wrong. Unexpected end of JSON, let's see. At file read. There's something wrong with my db.txt. Oh, that's because it's empty. I didn't put it back. All right, this is why I did the db copy.txt. Put it all back. Whoa. All right, now let's run it. All right, delete number 2. And it looks like it worked. Oh, it didn't work. Something's wrong with my code. Help me figure it out. It didn't delete number 2. So I write file with an empty string. We go through temp array. We append file, the object.
I had changed mine to the splice, like Jonas was saying. Maybe that's the difference.
Oh yeah, what is that thing about that Jonas was talking about? What do I do here? Jonas, can you tell me how line 13 should go?
Okay. How I did was, if it's splice, it changes the original data.
Oh, okay, good. So
If it's only slice, it doesn't change the original data.
okay, so what should line 13 be?
Temporary. That's splice. I1.
And then what, 1?
Yeah.
Is that what I had?
Yes.
What do you have, Alexandra?
I have the slice. I think before you had the slice.
Oh, SLI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I need more coffee. I'm a genius. Yeah, slice pulls it apart into 2 arrays. All right. Oh yeah, I killed this again. What's wrong with this JSON? Okay, so this is supposed to be JSON. Let me show you some cool tools here. Copy. Let's go to the web here. Json Validator. Online Validator. JSONlint.com. So I'm going to paste my JSON in here. And I'm going to say validate. Parse error. Expected end of file, comma, and then a bracket. It just got a bracket. So what's wrong with the way we did this? So it's expecting a comma. Do I have commas in the copy? I don't. That's interesting. Why is it not reading it in? We're able to delete it. You successfully deleted it. Your delete code is perfect, Alexandra. But then the newly written file doesn't read in as proper JSON. It's yelling at us saying unexpected end of JSON input when we're trying to read in the new JSON from db.txt. Are you running into the same thing, Alexandra?
No, but I forgot I had changed my read file to, like, I just put a try catch around what we had before to fix it.
In import DB?
Yeah,
Did you put it right here beginning on line 10?
I put it in our for loop.
So line 12 on the parse,
Yeah,
like this. Like that, right?
yeah.
Is that similar to what you had?
Yeah, I did just like, for some reason, when I did like the console log and then the error, it would still always give me the error. But if I just caught the error, it wouldn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you just had it like that, basically. Just catch it.
Basically, yeah.
Is that going to screw up our program? Let's check some stuff here. Let's start it. Okay, it runs. Let's do A, list all products. What do we got here? Yep, that's 1, 2, 3, 5, and 4. What? Oh, they're in opposite order. We'll have to explore that, won't we? That's interesting. Okay, but it is reading it. I don't know why it's throwing an error because it is properly formatted JSON. Okay, that's fine. Now, again, all of this is going to make it so when you use nice frameworks that handle all this stuff under the hood, you appreciate them more. But we've got a lot of this working. There's still some weird kinks. Let's work out why it has them in opposite order here at the end. Something changed. Let's go back to basics, go back to DB copy. This is our original. Copy that. We'll put it back into db.text. This is like we're initializing the database. Okay, good. All right. They're in the right order. Now, if we run this, let's list all. So there's an A. And list them all. And they're in the order that they have right here. Okay, good. Excellent. Now, let's run it again, and we'll try to delete one of them. Let's delete number 2. Now, look at the order. So 3, 5, 4, 1. What gets sent to the screen is different than the way they get stored in the file. Things are a little bit odd here. So let's examine, first of all, how they can be written in an odd order. Let's go to our delete. Let's reinitialize everything. Let's go to DB copy. We're going to use some debug here, and you're all going to have to watch very closely and see if you can help me solve this. Let's reinitialize everything. Now we're back to basics. I'm going to go to your delete, and I want to follow from this point forward, the point where I wipe out the database. I want to look and see what happens as I build each line. Everybody following so far?
Nice.
Okay, let's go run and debug. JavaScript debug terminal. Debugger attached. Delete number 2. And okay, now first I want to look at my temp array. What does it look like here? So I'm going to go to watch. I'm going to do temp array. And let's look at that in some detail. Just look at temp array. Where's the ID? I don't see ID on these. ID of 1. ID of 3. Look at that. That makes sense because we took away 2. ID of 4 and ID of 5. That's the order that we would expect things to be in, correct? So our splice has worked properly. But now let's do this one step at a time. Let's do a breakpoint right here. And let's watch each of these string operations happen. Right. So let's look at object. So that's ID 1. Let's look at FS right now. At the db.text, it's empty. Let's go back and we'll do our first append file. And we're appending ID number 1. All right. Click. Let's go look at it, db.text. It's not there. Maybe it has to wait till I'm done. All right, that's fine. That is interesting. Why can I not see that yet? Let's see if we can cheat and go here. Look at it in the File Explorer. No idea whether this will work or not. This is called complex.js, right? There it is. Data. Let's open this in Notepad. Nope, nothing in it. That baby is empty. It's interesting. All right. Let's try one more. So this one is ID 3. That's what we expected because we deleted ID 2. Let's do append. All right, the append worked. And still, if we look there, nothing in it. All right. Delete. Let's do the next one. This should be 4. Yes, it's ID 4. Let's do append. And again, just to be sure, we can't see it yet. I think it's because our computer program is locking up finalization on that file. It just depends on how the file system works. Okay, let's do the last one. Should be number 5. There it is, ID 5. Let's do the append. We're done with that loop. Will it let go of it now? Can we see? No, still not there. This is interesting. It might wait until this program stops running. Execute, execute. And now we're up here in our app.js. We're about to log product down here to the debug console. Let's see. And there we log it to the debug console, and it is ID 1, ID 3. That's what we expect. It should be 4. It is. Huh. And then 5. All right. Do we have anything here yet? Nope, nothing yet. Fine. Let's run again. Let's just continue. Go finish off the program. Continue. Now it's there. And it's in the correct order. I think the computer's possessed. All right, let's run it without debug. See if it does them in an odd order. We all saw that, right? It was in weird order. That might be some vagary of the file system library I don't know about. Let's go back to terminal. Let's do an npm start here and just run it. Oh, it's doing debug. I don't want debug. Let's do that same thing. Yeah, kill the terminal and get a new one. All right, now, before we run this, let's go back to basics. There, now we're restored. Let's see, delete number 2. Oh, why am I getting undefined back? Did I mess up the code somehow? What if I broke something? Yeah, I think I broke something. I don't know how. Return products, undefined. All right, I guess I will debug. Did anybody see me change anything? I didn't think I changed anything. Delete. 2. That's not undefined. All right, continue. And now it worked. I think my computer is possessed.
I think it happened to me as well, Eric. When
You saw something similar?
Well, when I delete and copy from DB copy to DB text,
Right.
the error comes up. Then suddenly it's all okay after that.
Interesting. Yeah, there's something odd about the formatting and the going back and forth between JSON. It's not, at a certain point, I don't want to perfect this computer program. I'm just trying to use it to illustrate some fundamental concepts of how to build, create, read, update, and delete. So I don't want to spend a bunch of time trying to fix it. Okay. But yeah, let's make sure that we're at a stable enough point. Let's take DB copy. I want everybody to get, I'll make sure I'm stable, and then I want everybody to sync up with where I am. So if I take DB text and paste, okay, so now we're back to where we're supposed to be. Everything's restored. If I do an Npm start. Oh, I didn't want the debugger. Thank you very much. Fine, I'm just going to take away the breakpoints. All right, so I'm going to try to delete number 3. And it looks like, yep, I deleted number 3. If I go to data and look at db.text, number 3 is gone. Now, can I then read data? Let's do an npm start. And let's do A for list all. And that works.
Can you try delete again?
Yeah. Oh, wait, look at that. 1 and 2. Oh, what's happening here? Look at that A. It only listed.
Yeah, you have previously deleted item number 3.
Oh, okay. My scroll was messed up. Okay, good. Excellent. That's fine. Now, what did you say, Sudesh? Can I try what?
If you try to delete one more.
Oh, good call. Let's try that. D. We'll delete ID number 1.
Okay, for some reason I can't delete the next one.
Okay, so we've got this pretty much working. Let's get you up to date. Sudesh, go ahead and look at this code and see if anything's different in yours. If you can't spot anything in a second, we'll share your screen. We'll all help solve it together. Are you seeing anything immediately obvious?
Nothing.
Okay, go ahead and share your screen and we'll all take a look. First of all, let's reset back to the original and then go through and show us what you're seeing, okay?
Yeah.
So go ahead and restore your db.txt using db copy. Great. Go ahead and run it. And do delete, and then delete number 2. Okay, good. So that disappeared from db.txt. All right, run it again. You're saying if you run it again, it won't work?
Okay,
Oh.
probably I will.
Oh, look at that. This is so weird, isn't it? The way that it's saving our JSON somehow is not being able to be imported again properly. That error is with import db.js. You see where it says import db.js? Right there, yeah. That's where the error is happening. And it's somehow saying that the file we created, even though we saved it as a JSON string, and it looks like it's a JSON string, something's wrong with it.
Hey, Eric, I haven't written the snippets of code about the try-catch block
Yeah.
in the read.js file.
Yeah, we need to wrap it in a try catch. I don't know why that's solving it. And again, it's not worth taking a bunch of time to solve it. So Sudesh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Sudesh, I'm going to take over again, and I want to show you this try catch block that and this is something Alexander came up with in your import DB right here.
Yeah.
You see these 2 lines that you have inside the for loop?
Yeah.
Wrap them in a try and then a catch. Do it exactly the way I have. Like this should actually be blank right here.
Second.
The back and forth conversion from JSON to string somehow is breaking a little bit. I'm not personally interested in figuring out how the file system library works with JSON under the hood in intricate nitty-gritty detail.
Do you have E in the
On 16?
brackets? Yeah.
That's not that's parentheses, not brackets.
Right.
Yeah. Yep, but put an E there, or EX for exception. You're catching whatever exception or fault happens. But we're not doing anything with it. Line 17, we're going to do nothing with that exception that we caught. Don't know why that fixes it. At this point, I don't care.
He has also to delete the return new array statement.
Delete what?
Return new array. There was a statement that says return new array. So we'd have to delete that.
Oh, you mean back in the delete.js file?
And no, in import.db JS file.
What line?
Line number 18 and 19.
After catch.
Oh,
Yeah, this one. Do we need that?
absolutely. The entire, I mean, that line 22?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the entire purpose of this function, is to read the database and deliver the contents of the database after they've been turned into a collection of objects to other parts of the computer program.
Okay.
So did you build that try catch, Sudesh?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. You share again. Let's see if that handles it.
How about the try catch block in the read JS file? I think I saw a try catch block in the read JS file.
Did you put one there?
Maybe I was missing. I mistook it maybe.
Okay, that's fine. Sudesh, go ahead and share your screen. We'll pick up on that, Jonas. All right, so let me look at your try catch. So this is in the import DB. That's excellent. Read database. You put a try around making the new array. That's correct. All right. Okay, good. All right. Let's go ahead and restore your db.txt. That control A was, yeah, it's so easy to do the control A over in the file part on the left.
Yeah.
I do that all the time. Good. All right. Let's start the program. And yeah, go ahead and delete one of them. All right, run it again, try to delete another one. Yeah, delete ID 5.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, good. Excellent.
Okay.
Okay, Jonas, can you go ahead and share your screen? Let me see what you were talking about with your try catch. I think you put one somewhere else.
Okay. Is it visible?
Yes. So go ahead and disconnect. You're running right now. Disconnect your debugger. It's on the top, very top of the screen. Top, yeah, the red control. Yeah, that's disconnect. Yeah, stop, because I want you to stop running the program. All right, so where did you put a try catch that you're talking about? You said in read.js you put one?
Yes, add put it here from in this for loop.
Yeah, you'll need to do that.
And
Yeah,
do I have
that's an in-memory. You're iterating or jumping through every item in the array, and all you're doing is finding out whether you got a match. You don't really need a try for that. You're not going to throw an exception. You're going to throw an error in the middle of that.
So it was a mistake.
Yeah. Do you have one in the import db.js?
Yes, I do. Here.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
That's your try catch.
Yeah.
Perfect, dude. Excellent.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So where were we? The next thing we want to try to do, we want to create new products. What if our customer service reps get a new form, say, hey, we're selling a brand new widget or whatever it is. Go ahead and go into the computer program and add in all the details for this new product we're selling. Let me show you how we're going to build that. And we'll talk about some concepts around it. Now, the way I would build this is I wouldn't start with the user interface, like what prompt am I going to display on the command line? How am I going to gather the data? I'd solve that last. The first thing I want to solve is, can I write some code that can actually add something to the db.txt file? Can add a new product. That's all I would try to do, okay? And having proven that I can do that, then I'll step out and I'll ask for the user's data on what details they want for the product. Let's build that. Now, with the structure of our program, look on the left here, we have a data folder that has everything to do with our database and how to read all the contents of it. We have node modules, which we pay very little attention to. Those are third-party JavaScript libraries that we added in. We don't need to pay attention to that. But here's where we spend most of our time, this operations one. We have the ability to read. We have the ability to delete. We need a create operation. How do we create a product? So go in here and make a new file called create.js. put some comments here about what we want to do. We want to take details of new product and as a JavaScript object, turn them into a string, then append that string to our db.txt file. Any questions about that as an approach? All right, so let's first of all make up a fake product. What are the properties of a product in this computer program?
ID, price.
Good, let's do them one at a time. It's like that, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. All right. So let's say this is $500. Next one.
Name.
And this is widget. Next one.
Quantity.
All right, we have 5,000 of these. Our leadership thinks we're going to sell a lot of them. Next one.
Description.
Purple widget. All the kids will love them. Next one.
ID.
We already got ID.
ID, yeah.
Is that it?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, ID. Yeah,
Okay.
that's all.
Now, are those in the same order as we've been placing everything else?
ID was at last, price first.
We also have a SKU.
I thought so.
Yes, yeah.
All right, so how are we doing on order?
After price.
Right there?
Yeah.
All right. Seems good to me. Is that the correct order?
Yeah.
All right. All right, so we have a fake product. Now, again, we're going to make a computer program where we get this data from our user. But let's just see if we can at least take data for a fake or hard-coded product and add it on. So here's our function. And it's going to be create product. You should all be following along. And we're going to pass in our product. Now, what do I do here?
Do you want to append the fake product to our file?
Yep. How do I do that?
Can we just use the same like append, like yeah, the FS and then
Yeah, but this is weird. When I type FS, it's not working. Like I don't get anything and it tries to change it.
oh, we still have to import it.
Exactly. Like that. Append file like that, right? All right, so what's our path? We did /data/ oh, I didn't do my dots. See, that's so weird. I don't get data until I go up 2 of them. All right. And then what I'm going to append is fake, right? I have to convert it to JSON. So JSON dot what?
Stringify?
Yep. So I stringify the fake that got passed in. And then no write file options. And then I need a callback. So we just did a empty function. Like that. Now, we're missing one thing. At the very end of the line in the file, when we append it, we also need a carriage return or a line return, right? How did I do that? What's inside here, Alexandra?
The backslash and then n.
Like that?
No, wait, is that the right one? I think so, yeah.
All right, well, let's look at our delete. Yep, /n, \n. Okay, good. All right, all right. So it seems like this is going to work. We got to be able to call this. It's kind of weird. Append product. So we're appending the new product. Okay. Now here's the thing. I actually need to be able to call this function from my app.js. All right. So I need to export it, right? So put export there. Well, when I call it from app.js, that's when I'm going to pass in information. So this information here of a fake product, it doesn't belong here. It belongs in the place that I'm going to call this function from. So go ahead and do a Control X, if you will, and grab the fake data. This is what I'm doing. I'm taking all of the let fake equal, I'm killing it right here. Go back to app.js, and I want you to paste it down at the bottom here just for a minute. So we have it available, okay? Now, let's figure out how we can cause a create to happen. We need another prompt to the user. So let's do C for create. Create a new product. Now, there's going to be a lot more to this. Right now, we're just going to create this one product. But now we need a switch for this, right? A switch case.
Yeah.
So go after the break, after the D case, hit enter. You have to back tab so you're lined up with the case. You see that? I'm lined up with this case right here. Let's give this case. And this is the case for C for create. I thought C was for cookie. C is for cookie. All right. Let's do our prompt. I'm going to copy all this because I don't want to type it all out again. Now, I know that we're going to ask for an ID. That'll all change. What I care about is I want to call this create function. Well, I don't have access to it yet in my app.js. How do I get access to the create product function? Sudesh, do you know?
Import.
Yes, exactly. So go here to the top and we'll do an import here. Create product from operations/create.js. Now we can access it. So go down here to the create. And change this. Now, we don't want to pass in the ID. We want to pass in the fake product. Oh, I screwed something up. There it is. So change it to create product. We're not passing in this ID. When we call create product, we want to give it some product data. Well, here's where we're going to use our fake. Let's take this and put it at the top of app.js. This is temporary. Put it right up here at the very top after your imports. It's just going to live there for a moment. We're going to use that just to test out whether we can create a new product and save it to our text file. If you get behind, stop me. All right, so we have fake up here. So we have access to it. When we call create product, let's pass in fake. Like that. Now let's follow our logic again. When we run this, it's going to add this new C option for creating a new product. We're going to type C. It's going to ask us for an ID. We don't care about that right now. What we care about is once we've typed in an ID, it's going to call the create product function, and it's going to pass in this fake product that we have sitting up here. And now if we look at create product, right click, go to definition. There's our create product. It should take in the product that we passed in, and it should do our append file. That's what should happen. Is anybody not caught up to where I am? All right, let's run this. Npm Start. Got me a debugger that I don't want or care about. That's lovely. All right, create a new product. So I'm going to hit C. I'm going to hit enter. Now, before I do it, let's look at our data. Here's my db.txt. Oh, I had deleted some things. I'm going to restore it. All right, so it's restored. All right, fine. What? All right, so I'm going to hit C for create. It's going to prompt me for an ID. I don't care what I put in. I'm going to put 3. Doesn't matter. And it doesn't look like it added anything here. All right, I think it's time to do a little bit of debugging. So I want everybody to go to create. Give yourself a breakpoint on the append. Let's see if we can figure out what is wrong. What did Eric do wrong? Now,
maybe the double dots.
It might very well be exactly that, like this, for some reason, this format isn't working. So let's make sure that our product arrives though. And then, yeah, that's probably it. But let's just see. So let's run it again. Npm Start, debugger. I'm going to hit C for create. Doesn't matter what I put for ID. And there I am. Now let's look at fake and see what came in. All right. I got my purple widget. All that data is coming in. And so the append file, let's do step. It completed. It didn't break anything. I got no errors thrown. So if we look at it, it didn't add it. I'm inclined to think that Jonas is right. So I'm going to disconnect, stop my program from running. I don't know why it's doing this, but I'm going to change that. And now we're going to run it again. Let's go make sure that our db.txt is correct. There it is. I've got all 5 products. Let's go down here. We'll do an npm start. All right, it says prompt. I want a C for create. Doesn't matter what ID it is. All right, here I am. I've got my fake product that came in. And now I'm going to click, boom. Didn't throw an error. Let's look. Nothing there. But remember, we had to wait till the program was run. So let's do continue. Ooh, look, there it is. Look what I forgot. I forgot that the carriage return comes first. It comes before, not after. See what I did? It put it right there. But it worked. Hey, all right. So tell me what I need to change on my append file to fix that. And if you don't, if I went too fast and you're not sure what the problem is, tell me.
I couldn't caught up, Eric.
No problem. So here's what happened. I ran it. I did create, and it worked. If I look at my db.txt, look at this. I have product 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's 5. And look right here. This is where it printed product 6. It did it immediately at the end of line 5 on the same line in the file. You see the problem now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now if we look at create, this is where I do the append. That's what made that file change. What do I need to fix? What do I need to change here to fix that? Jonas, any ideas?
We have to add carriage return with the /n with the new line command.
Where?
After JSON.stringify.
We have it right here. Here's JSON.stringify, and we have the carriage return.
Okay, this is a new line. I think we have to include slash. I don't definitely remember it, but
I know what you're talking about, and that's not the problem. The problem is that we're doing that /n after we print the data. We just need one before. Look at this file right here, db.txt. We need to do carriage return and then print the data. Do you see how that's the problem? or whether you, new line, whichever way you do it, new line, and then print the data. We didn't do that. We just printed the data. And unfortunately, it printed it at the very end of the file, and the end of the file was right here. The end of the file was not down below. I'll show you. This is how the file existed before we executed that line. Notice where the cursor is flashing. That's the end of the file. Notice that there's nothing down below. There's no content below line 5. So when we get to append file and we print this string at the end of the file is literally right here where the cursor is. And so that's where it starts putting the string. We need to first do a new line and then add the file or append the file. Anybody have any questions about that?
Yes, the new line has to precede.
Precede, it's exactly right. Has to precede it. So let's go in here and we'll move it. Do Control X. It goes here. And then a plus. First, do a new line, then write the string. So let's see if that works. First, make sure that your db.txt is restored by just going to db copy, copy it, make sure that you're exactly back where you were to begin with. All right. And again, notice the end of the line, the end of the file is right over here. There's no lines after line 5. Is anybody not caught up to there, to where we are?
I'm not.
Okay. All right. So Sudesh, let me show you first the app.js. I want you to, 1, do you have create product imported yet? The create product function. Do you have that?
20. Yes.
Good. Do you have a fake product variable up here?
Right. I put that in create. Let me copy and paste.
Yeah, make sure it's up here, just below the imports.
1 second.
Sure thing. And that's the only place you need it.
Just after.
Just after you imported create product.
Yeah.
Is it there?
Yeah, it is there now.
Good. Now go down to the bottom of your switches. Oh, first of all, did you add in a new log that says C, create a new product?
No.
Okay, do that. And by the way, Sudesh,
Yeah.
it's not only okay for you to stop me if I'm going too fast, I want you to.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Don't worry about slowing anybody down. It's okay.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, good. Is that done?
Create. 1 second.
Sure thing.
Yes.
Good. Now, down in our switch statement, we have a bunch of cases. Did you add in a case for the letter C?
No.
Okay, here. Let me copy that and I'm going to put it into Discord. Go ahead and grab it. And make sure you add it after the case for D is done, and that you begin the word case at the same position as all the other word cases. Let me know when that's.
So after the break, yeah?
Yes, exactly. Let me know when that's pasted in.
Yeah.
Good. Now, watch how I run this and tell me, I want you to run it and see if it works. Again,
Okay.
sure thing. Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah.
Good. Go to db.txt and
Yeah.
make sure it's fully restored by
Yeah.
using your DB copy. Okay.
Yeah.
Then run the program npm start.
Yeah.
Do you see your C create a new product as a possible input?
I get syntax missing after argument list.
What?
I got a syntax error.
You have a text error?
A syntax error. Yeah.
Oh, syntax error. Okay. Share your screen. All right. Let's see all the details on the syntax error.
Like argument.
Don't say nothing. I want him to look at this and figure it out. First of all, where in the code is the problem?
Create.
Where exactly in that file? Line 7, right?
Line 7. Yeah.
Okay, so go to create. Look at line 7. Now stop for a moment and just look at where you have red squigglies.
So these two. Which,
What do you think is wrong here? Here, let's talk through this. Okay.
Mhm.
Put the cursor right after the word append file. Good. Now, I'm going to ask you some questions. Just take your time. Okay. What is that character immediately after the word append file?
Character is the parenthesis.
Good. What does that tell you about append file? What kind of thing is append file?
Function.
Good. Perfect. What is supposed to go inside those open and closed parentheses? What are the things in there called?
Object.
No. Parameters is what they're called.
Mhm.
Also called arguments. You ready? You good
Yeah.
so far? Okay.
Yeah.
What are they there for? What do we use those things for? In general, what do functions use those things? Why are they there? If you're not sure, it's totally okay to tell me you're not sure.
I'm not sure.
Good. They are just the things that the function needs in order to do its work. That's all.
Mhm.
We're going to call this append file function, but it needs data before it can do its job. So there's 4 pieces of data that append file needs. Highlight the first piece of data. Good. What is that piece of data going to be used for?
To read it's a database where it stores.
Good. Now that's with our computer program. For the append file function, what is that first piece of information used for? All it
look.
does is find the file that you're going to append things to. You understand?
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's look in the file. Yeah.
Yeah, look, just find the file. That's all.
Find the file. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, good. All right, so I found the file. Now, after that comma is the second set of data. Highlight that. You haven't hit another comma yet. Why did you stop highlighting?
Yeah. I need to put
Everything
comma.
in between commas. No, don't do that. Don't change anything. Don't type anything.
Okay.
Highlight everything between the commas. Good. What is the append file function going to use this second set of data to do?
I'm not sure.
This is the content that we're actually going to add to the file. We're going to put that content at the end of the file. Which file? The one that's the first parameter. In our case, db.text.
Right.
So that second parameter is all of the text that we're going to add on to the end of the file.
Okay.
You following so far?
Yes.
Good. I don't care about the third and fourth parameters.
Mhm.
Go ahead and click away from there so it's not highlighted. Now, let's look at that second parameter. That's meant to be a string. Everything in between the two commas is meant to be a string that we will add on to the end of a file. Your string is broken. It's screwed up. Can you tell me why? And if you can't, it's okay.
It's the comma is not in the right place.
No, that's not it at all. The string is broken. The stuff
Right.
in between the commas is broken. So let's talk about it in detail.
Mhm.
You ready?
Yeah.
Look at the quote \n quote. You see that part?
Yeah.
What is that? That's a string, right? It's inside quotes.
Yeah.
If it's inside quotes, it's a string, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But are we really going to print the string \n in our file? Is that what we want to do?
No, we want the whole thing.
Okay. I don't care about the rest of it. We're going to take this
Mhm.
one tiny bit at a time.
Mhm.
So if we aren't actually trying to print or add the characters \n to the end of our file, why did we put that there? What is that meant to do? And if you're not sure, you've got to tell me. It's okay.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Good.
I'm
And
not
you need to tell me right away. If you're not sure of the answer, it's totally okay. All it
Okay.
means is I screwed up somewhere. I didn't let you know. Okay?
Mhm.
All right, good. So here's what's happening inside those double quotes. You ready?
Yeah.
Normally, what's inside double quotes is just string data. It's alphanumeric. And it means exactly what's inside there. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever's inside there is what you want to use.
Mhm.
But what if you want to do something weird and special? What do I mean by weird or special? Well, here's an example. You ready?
Yeah.
What if the string that I want to use also has double quotes in it? Or single quote, like, crap, what do I do? If a double quote marks the beginning and end of a string, but somewhere inside the string there also is supposed to have a double quote, I'm screwed because as soon as we reach the double quote that is part of the content, the computer thinks we're done with strings. We've reached the end of it. You follow that problem? If you don't, it's okay.
No, it's
If you're not
No, I
sure,
don't.
tell me. Okay, good. All right,
No.
let me show you something. And this is actually something I want everybody to pay attention to as well. So let me share my screen. All right, so let's just go to app.js just so we can have some syntax. This is not code I want any of you to add. I just need a place to type in some examples. So let my string, don't type in this, just watch, okay? Equal Eric. This variable called my string will have a value of everything inside the quotes. This is the string that is used as the value for this variable. Do you follow so far?
Yeah.
Good. Now, Eric wants to be called Bob. Holy moly, I've got problems. Look at my red squiggly. Why do I have problems? Here's why. Let's go back. Before I added that weird thing in. The only way the computer knows when the string begins and ends is because of the double quotes. Here's the opening double quote. Here's the ending or closing double quote. You follow so far?
Yeah.
So the computer is going to start reading one character at a time and go, oh, that's a double quote. All right. I'm going to read forward until I find another double quote, and everything in between them is my string. Oh, I found one. All right, let me go back. All of this, that's my string. Right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, now I decided I'm going to screw everything up because I want a nickname. I want to be quote Bob unquote. Well, what happens? The computer starts right here. He says, oh, there's a double quote. All right, I'm going to read until I find another double quote. And it goes right here. It goes, oh, another double quote. All right, here's my string. Is that what we actually intended?
No.
So we have a problem. This is a very valuable teaching moment. I need everybody to pay attention here. Computers and computer programs operate on known patterns. Computers are stupid. Every single one of us, we're looking at this screen and we're going, well, duh, I know what he meant. I know what's intended here. There's supposed to be double quotes around the word Bob. A computer doesn't think. It only operates on exact patterns. So we had to agree when we started creating computer programming languages that if we want to work with strings, we have to steal some sort of symbol to mark the beginning and the end of the string. It could have been anything. It could have been this. It could have been the up caret symbol. It could be any symbol we want. We didn't really care what symbol it was. We just need a beginning and ending marker to say all this symbol does is represent the beginning of a certain type of data. You as a computer should read through until you find a matching symbol that represents the end of that type of data. Well, you have a problem. What if you want to use that symbol somewhere inside the content? You have to find a way to tell the program to differentiate and say, whoa, that's not what I meant. The way to do that is to use another special character to stop the normal pattern that's being looked for and inform the computer that now it means something different. Those patterns are generally called escape characters. They escape the normal pattern recognition that you're trying to do. So let's restore this to the way it really works, which is double quotes. Does anybody know how to do an escape character for double quotes in JavaScript?
The first option is backward slash.
Is what?
Backward slash.
Good. So here we are. Pay very close attention. We're inside the string. I have a space. What I want the string to be is quote Bob unquote. So you're saying I could do backslash like that?
Nice.
And then the quote that I want.
Yeah.
And then what?
And then the text
Bob.
and the quotation.
Another quote,
backslash
right?
and quotation.
Oh, a backslash, end quote.
Yeah.
You're a genius. Let's test this bad boy out. In fact, let's just make a little teeny file out here. Don't add this in. foo.js. Take this code and we're going to pull it out of here because I want to just experiment with this a little bit. Let's run it. First of all, I want to kill my terminals. So I'm going to run just that program. So node on, what is it, foo.js. Look what it does right down here. If your zoom controls are in the way, move them out of the way. It does exactly what I wanted. Eric wants to be called Bob.
Mm.
So the slash is called an escape character. You will find these used throughout every language in hundreds of different ways, but it's the underlying principle that you've always got to keep in mind. Our established pattern is, here's the beginning of the specific type of data. Here's the end of that type of data. If I want to use that symbol inside of that, I've got to do something special to escape the normal pattern recognition. So Sudesh, how you doing on this?
Yeah.
Good, excellent. So let's go back and let's look at create. And let's look at this little set of characters. Well, this is the beginning of a string, and this is the end of the string. This is an escape character. What's the N mean? The first thing you know is that it means don't print an N. It means I don't mean this to be what it normally would be. Normally, it would be an N. It would be an alphanumeric character. It would just be some text content. But the fact that it's preceded by a slash says, no, that's not what I mean. I need you to go to a separate lookup table and find out what N is supposed to be if it's preceded by an escape character. Some programmer had to think of this and did in about 1996 when they started creating JavaScript. And every single computer programming language ever made, pretty much, has had to solve this exact thing. They're like, okay, so for strings, everything's fine until it's not a string. When it's something separate and weird, how do we designate that? The first thing to the system is provide an escape character, some symbol that says everything's different. Stop. Here's our escape symbol. Now, for whatever is immediately after this, go look up in a separate area what to do with it. When you go to the lookup table for JavaScript on what this escape character N means, what does it mean? Does anybody know? I know Alexandra knows. Tell us, Alexandra.
New line.
It means add a new line. Think of a typewriter, Sudesh. Did you learn to type when you were young?
Yeah.
Okay. It's essentially the same as a carriage return. It means wherever you are, go back to the beginning and down one. That's what /n means. You following so far?
Yeah.
Good. Now, another thing that every language does with strings, there's a way to add small elements together to make one overall string. That's called concatenation. That's what the plus symbol means when you're dealing with strings. It doesn't mean do math. It means add what's to the left of it to what's to the right of it and form one string. So what this means in between the commas is, first, take a carriage return, like a new line, and then add on to it whatever this ends up being as a string. So how does that differ from what you have right now, Sudesh? I'm not even looking at it, but I can tell you.
Yeah, it's the plus.
You don't
was
have the
not
plus.
in the right place.
Yeah, you don't have a plus to concatenate them. And you left a plus after the fake. And so your program is going, plus what? You didn't give me nothing. There's no fragment of string to concatenate into the overall string. Did you fix it?
Yes.
The red squigglies went away?
Yeah.
Hot dang. Okay, good. All right, now, because I want you all to be able to have some really interesting homework, I'm going to show you one piece of how to build it so it can actually ask for user information to add a product. So first, let's make sure that Eric's code works, because I don't want to, maybe I mucked something up. So npm start. All right, create a new product. Let's first of all, what's my db.txt look like? All right, I'm looking good. Okay, so let's do a C for create. I want you all to make sure you can create before I move on to the next thing. So for C for create, go ahead.
Sorry, Eric,
No,
I'm still getting.
That's okay. Go and share your screen. We'll get you all up. We're going to get everybody ready for a really fun homework assignment. So it's totally cool. I'll stop sharing. Show me your screen. Let me see the error. So you did node app.js, and on line 21, import create product. This requested module. Okay, well, look what it says. Syntax error. The requested module doesn't provide an export. You didn't export anything from create.js. Go to create.js. Look at your function. You see your function on line 5? That's the function called create product. If you want other elements of your computer program to be able to use that function, you have to export it. Go to the beginning of line 5. Just type export. That's it. Now it can be imported and used elsewhere. Run the program and let's see if it works. So C for create. And any number, I don't care. Pick a number. There you go. All right. File system is not defined. Okay. That is create.js line 7. Oh, why do you have file system.append? It's fs.append. On line 7, change file system to fs. You're using the fs library. No, at the beginning, file system. Change file system, the word file system. Change it to fs. Okay, good. Now run your program. See? And a number. All right. On line 5, you have a parameter called fake. On line 5, you have a parameter called fake with a capital F. Change to lowercase because when you try to use it on line 7, you have a lowercase f. All right, run it.
Okay.
You spelled stringify wrong. JSON stringify. G-I-F-Y. Good. Run it. All right. Now, look at your db.txt and see if we added anything to it. There it is. Okay, it worked.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Excellent. All right. So,
Thanks.
of course, yeah. Now, here's what we're going to do. I want to show you how to solve one part of having the user input this data. So let's go to app.js. Now, right here, inside this C case for create, we're going to have to do further prompts. We have to prompt for everything we want. Now, the first thing to know is that you can have a collection. Look at these prompts. They're in square brackets, so you can have multiples. So we can have ID, but then we can also have what are the properties? Price, SKU, name, quantity, description. So we can have price, SKU, name, description. Anything else? Price, SKU, name, quantity. There we go. Price, SKU, name, quantity. So now we have a whole array. Let's see if it'll prompt us for those one after the other. When you get done putting that in, I want you to run it and see whether it'll ask you one after the other for all that data. Let's see if we got that right. ID, price, SKU, name, quantity, description. Okay, good. I'm gonna wait till everybody gets that part running. When you're done running, let me know. When it's prompting you for each of those 6 data points, let me know.
I'm done.
Excellent.
Done.
Who was that?
I'm done.
Excellent.
I did.
Jonas, let me know when you're
Yes.
done. You're done
Yeah,
too?
I'm done.
Okay, good.
Yes.
So, couple of things. I don't like the reference to fake anymore, so we're not going to do that. And I'm going to change the name of this to be result. I like the var called result. What I'm going to pass into it, I need to create it. I don't want to call it fake. I want it to be called product. So I need a variable here called product. I have a product. Now I have not assigned it a value. That's on purpose. In fact, I'm going to make it an empty object. There we go. I have an empty object. Now, that's what we're going to pass in to the create product. What you guys have to solve, use the user input to create this new product object that we are going to pass into the create product method. That's what you need to do inside here, because you can collect them. You all just demonstrated on your own machines. You can collect the information from the user. Now you need to make a product that you're going to pass in to this create product. You need to figure out how to take user information and use it to make an object. Well, that's your homework. Any questions about this so far? Now, I'm going to make it so everybody can see this code without having to like rewatch the video. I'm going to put it up on GitHub. Ready to make create product work. There we are. All right, now make sure that all worked. Good, that worked. Let me put that link into There it is. I just put it into Discord again, just so you can see it again. Okay. If you want to see exactly what we just built, the little note I just made, it's there for you. Everything about my project is there. And this is your homework. Any questions on the homework? All right. Please ping me if you have any problem with it at all. Okay. Now, scheduling wise, I would like to do another class tomorrow or on Thursday night. I want to skip Wednesday. I have something urgent that came up. Who would prefer Thursday night?
I prefer Thursday night.
Okay.
Thursday.
Does that work for you? Like
Yes.
what time? What time is it for you right now? Is it Tuesday morning, Sudesh?
It's 5 o'clock at the moment.
It's 5 o'clock on Tuesday morning, correct?
Tuesday morning, yeah.
Okay. So what I'm talking about is Friday morning for you, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Jonas, same thing for you, right? You're on
Yeah.
Tuesday morning, right?
Yeah.
Does Friday morning work for you?
Yes, it would.
Okay. Alexandra, can you do Thursday night, America?
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, I can do Thursday.
Okay. Same time. We'll do 7 o'clock. Okay. And what I like about that is it gives you a couple more days to work on this. If you end up solving it really quickly, which is fine, some of you may, the next thing I want you to think about is, what if some jerk puts in a name or a description that has quotes in it? Won't that be nasty? You don't have to solve for that. That's a little bit of extra credit, okay? But if you get it working and you're happy with it, and you're able to add products, then solve for what happens if someone includes quotes in their description or their name. So that's your homework. All right. Thank you all for working through that. I know a little bit over. You guys are doing this thing we're building here. I know it's a lot of nitty gritty, but at the end of it, you'll actually have built a computer program that can create, read, update, and delete, which is going to be like 75% of your job in the real world. I don't mean to oversimplify what we do as developers, but nearly all computer programs that are used in the enterprise in a regular work environment for productivity applications, they do create, read, update, and delete. That's what they do. So all of these skills will translate. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. And if you need help while you're doing the homework, hit me up on Discord.
Have a good
Thanks,
night.
Eric.
Thank you. Have a good time.
Bye all.